Okay, so I'm going to go over some information on DSLR cameras. You probably are watching this because you recently bought one to replace a point and shoot, and you're just looking for some information on how to use it. I'm going to start really basic because I haven't seen a lot of super basic stuff. I mean, usually they're talking about aperture and shutter speed, f-stops, lens lengths, things like that. And we're going to take it back a step first. We'll get to that stuff in follow-up videos, but for now we're going to just start with super basic. How do I change a lens, for instance? How do I make a picture happen? So this is a Nikon D60. I shoot Nikon, so we're going to use all Nikon gear for our examples, but if you're shooting a Canon Rebel or a Pentax or Sony or any of the major brands, they're all very similar. So the first thing is you get your camera at the store, and you know, it's got a body cap on the front to protect where the lens sits, and that's about it. You've got pretty well nothing. So your camera comes like this. It's got a cap on here which you take off, and you know, you should definitely spend some time with the manual, but just to get you started, first things first, how do you put a lens on? Well, in the Nikon case, and I think all cases, you're going to find two matching dots. Nikon, it's a white dot right here and a white dot on the body. You match those dots up and you turn. And if you listen, there's a click. Now to take the lens off, you press this button and take it off. And then you can put on a different lens, perhaps this lens. Again, if you don't line it up, it won't happen. Line up the dots, click. If you try, you can end up putting the lens on partially backwards, and then it's going to be kind of jammed on there. It's going to be tough to get off. So always make sure you have your white dot and your white dot, match them, and turn. So now you have a lens on your camera, but you don't have a battery. You can't take pictures without a battery. So in the case of the D60, the battery holder is right at the bottom. Flip the switch, it'll open, and then the battery, you can see there's an arrow pointing in. It shows a little picture here with an arrow pointing in, and all the cameras are similar. Just find the right latch for the right compartment. And now you need a place to save. This isn't like your point and shoot, which maybe had built-in memory. This thing doesn't take pictures without a memory card. Most of what you're using probably use SD cards. In the case of Nikon, again, there's a flap here. It shows a little card, and it says card on there. You just pull this out a little, and it's spring-loaded. SD cards and compact flash, all these cards, they are specific in how they go in. They're keyed, so they only go in one way. If you try to put it in backwards, it won't go. Don't try to force it. If it doesn't go in pretty easy, it's wrong. Flip it around the correct way, and then just press it in. And with SD cards, you'll feel there's a little spring, kind of like some closet doors and whatnot. You push them, and then you close the flap, push it back. Now to turn on your SLR so that it's ready to go, just take the switch. Usually it's located right by the shutter button, and it says on and off. It should be fairly easy to find. Flip it to the on position, and now you're basically ready to take pictures. You're probably on auto. That's fine for now. We'll go over later what other modes there are. And you basically can now use this as if it was a point and shoot, pointing it at something and taking a picture. And so there you go. There's a picture. So it's very simple to use, and that's all there is to it. When you're not using it, you can flip it in the off position, but all modern cameras, when they're left in the on position, they go to a low power state, and so they're not going to just die on you while they sit around. You probably expect 1,000 or more photos per battery charge. Get a second battery, and always rotate them through the charger, so you always have a strong battery when you go out to shoot your kids' events or family outings or birthday parties. And that's going to do it for this first episode, and in subsequent episodes we'll go over different modes and how you can manipulate things to get better photos.